Yeah, so we saw kind of that with, was it Ethan Sears' piece today in the New York Post? Obviously referencing what Arthur Staple has reported that it feels like Lou Lamoriello has a contract for another year. But as Ethan was saying, it sounds like he's on a revolving contract year over year type of thing. So while I know a couple of years back, Andrew Gross tried to ask Lou, is your contract done? What are you doing with it? And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's probably because of that. It just rolls over year until Lou decides he doesn't want it anymore. But you look at the outlook this season. The Islanders are on, 82 points right now? Yeah, 82 points in 81 games. The last two times the Islanders made, these owners specifically, made changes. The Islanders finished with an 84-point season. That's when Barry Trotz was fired, right? I'm using that because we still don't necessarily know if he was fired or not. And then there was in 2017-18 when we finished with an 80-point season. So a little bit worse. And they cleaned house. To be fair, Garceau had been there for 12 years.
For a freaking eternity. But it is, I think, worth noting that the last time we saw big changes just so happened to be the last two times they missed the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
because they missed the playoffs in really in back-to-back years, right? 2017 they miss it, 2018 they miss it. Big changes. In comes Lou Lamoriello, Barry Trotz, make the playoffs 3 years in a row, then miss the playoffs. Barry Trotz gets fired. Lou Lamoriello goes to the successor and Lane Lambert. That's not working out. Lou is able to hire a different coach in season a year ago, and Patrick Waugh's got the last year and a half. So they made the playoffs each of the last 2 years.
Yep.
Is there a chance that we see this surprise move? Because if memory serves correct, there was the press conference at the end of the year for Garth Snow and Doug Weight, and we were like, that was kind of weird. And then shortly after that is when the news ends up, coming out that they're going to go in the different direction. Do you think something similar could happen in the sense that you might get like Lou and Patrick Waugh, sitting at the table with the Islanders step and repeat behind them in the polo, sitting like this and like that? Remember that classic picture of Doug Weight and Garth Snow sitting up there? Do you think that's like something?
Hands in pockets, right?
Yeah, it was a great picture. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here while we're talking about it.
No, I don't. Oh, my mic was way down. Sorry, everyone. My mic was super down the entire time. You can hear me fine the entire time?
Yeah, it regulated itself, and then you boosted it and it got loud again.
Okay, sorry. I just noticed it's loud. I keep trying to mute myself whenever I blow my nose, and that has been often. Sorry if the mic was bad leading up to this. But anyways, no, I don't think that's going to happen because there's no way that Ledecky, that wasn't it though, was it?
Yes, this is the. Oh wait,
was
no,
that it?
Maybe not.
No, Garth had the full beard.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so it's even worse. Hold on, please hold.
Yeah, because he's like leaning back, right? And he's got his golf shirt and I think like just a sweater on.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this tab instead. It's this picture.
Yeah, exactly. And like he could not be bothered more to be there. It's not gonna.
Yeah, it's not getting bigger. I apologize. Newsday wouldn't let me open the picture, but there we go. That was the picture.
Yeah, but we all remember, right? Ledecky sits there, he talks, and then he gets up and GTFOs to the back of the room so that his two guys could take their shellacking from the media, which they are not too happy about, obviously. Rightfully so, but they deserved it. There's no way that happens to Lou Lamoriello. Absolutely no way, because if that does, Ledecky's getting whacked the next day.
Yeah, he's going to call his friends from New Jersey and they'll take care of it.
Lou will do it himself. He will do it himself.
Like the old hitman that he is.
Exactly. There's that story, right, that Brian Burke shares of Lou Lamoriello going after a ref after a game when he was coaching in Providence. Like in the tunnel, he's going after this ref, and it gets physical. You can go and look it up. It's on Sportsnet. They did these like little animated shorts with Brian Burke. It was like Hey Burke or something. It was him and Jeff Merrick. And they were recounting the story of Lou Lamoriello just going off on this referee. And yeah, anyways, Lou will do it himself. But yeah, long-winded. There's no way that they will do it that way. If they get rid of Lou Lamoriello, it will be, he'll have his presser, he will say what he wants to say, and then 2 days later, not 1 day, 2 days later, then we'll get the notification.
Okay, yeah, so he has some time, rides off into the sunset, has his final moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Right. Like they won't do it right after doing it. You kind of give him his day type of thing to clean out the office and whatnot, and then you go. Of course, that's assuming they actually do it, right?
Well, I was gonna say there's one. While I understand your thought process, and I think it's an appropriate one, we're gonna just throw a wrinkle into that plan. You tell me if this is out of bounds or not. What if Andrew Gross or Stefan Rosner or Arthur Staple ask him, like, point blank, like, are you here next year at this press conference? Like, do you plan on coming back next year? Because then I feel like that kind of changes things, no?
They definitely will. I would be surprised if they don't. I don't think Stefan will. I think he'll leave that to the more seasoned guys in the room.
Yeah.
I'm sure they call dibs on those type of questions, which is totally fine. I don't think Lou will take that question very well. Like, we've seen what he did the last time Andrew asked him that question. I'm pretty sure it was Andrew. It may have been Ethan.
It's always matter. Andrew.
Yeah, it might. I didn't type of thing a few times. But Andrew's great. I don't mean to disparage against him. I like Andrew Gross a lot. But he being Lou Lamoriello is not going to take that question well. He never does, even when it's about players, let alone himself. He does not want to answer questions about his contract and his future. Because remember, Lou is all about the team, not about the individual. This is not about me. This is about the team, which is wrong. As it is about you because you control the team, my dude.
Yeah, it very much so involves him, right?
Absolutely. What do you think he says if he gets that question? What do you think the words that come out of his mouth are?
I'm planning on it unless they tell me otherwise, something like that, or something short, like a 4-word sentence.
Yeah, like you don't know what you're talking about. We're not here to talk about that kind of stuff. I see him be pretty defensive about it.
Yeah,
because he usually gets that defensive about his specific contract.
Yeah, he doesn't like the tough questions.
Yeah, and people questioning him, which is fair to question. Like you've missed the playoff twice in the last 4 years now. You made it the last 2 years, but by the hair of your chinny chin chin. And even when you did make it, you got bounced in 6 games by Carolina 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and then you've got bounced by Carolina again in 5 games. Like your impact was meddling, if anything.
Right. So kind of not going anywhere the last 4 years, I think, is a fair description of them. Like an okay team the last 4 years. Again, they make the playoffs. It's worth noting that half the league makes the playoffs, and that playoff run lasted all of 6 games and then 5 games.
Yeah.
So I think we made it pretty clear where we stand on this, that we would both move on from Lou Lamoriello. If I were to put odds on it, or like a percent chance, I would say it's like
plus 300.
I was gonna say like 90% chance he's back.
Yeah,
and 10% chance that he's not back.
Yeah, which is troubling. I know Andre listening is saying, I've been saying this for years, and he's not necessarily wrong. Anyone who has said Lou has had to go since they missed the playoffs in 2022, that's fine. You're not necessarily wrong. I was not ready for that, but that was a personal opinion. Your personal opinion may have been better. It's just, you can't, if you're Malkin, you can't keep accepting the line of, we're going to keep running back. We have a good core here. You no longer have that core that was there in 2021, right? That made that run. That was a goal away basically from making the Stanley Cup Finals.
If you like that, make sure to subscribe to Up the Turnpike on Patreon for more exclusive New York Islanders content.